everybody, welcome back to the Pet Food Puzzle Guy. We're going to go ahead and review a food that keeps popping up on Facebook, so they keep advertising on there, and I thought, well, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So if you're not familiar, Health Extension is the name of the product that keeps advertising on Facebook. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see how it stacks up. And if you remember, our pursuit here when I review foods is I am definitely, the main concern is which diet is the healthiest. Is this diet healthy for my pet? So I love the name here, Health Extension, because saying something's healthy means it's promoting good health. It's helping to keep my pet healthy, or another way of saying it, it's helping to reduce some of the risks associated with life, especially as with aging, just like with people. There are age-related diseases that take a lot of our animals, sometimes it's always too soon. We're never ready to give them up. But nutrition, really, the healthiest nutrition is the nutrition that is prolonging good health, promoting good health, and reducing the risk of disease. That is the definition of healthiest in my book, okay? So whenever we look at foods, that's pretty much what we're looking at. How well do they do in that area? So love the name Health Extension. Let's go ahead and see if they actually help extend our pet's life, and that's why we should be feeding their food. The bag, I like the name. I like the Border Collie on the bag. On their website, you can see here it says it boosts your pet's health. It improves their gut health, nourishes skin and coat. That's wonderful. It boosts immunity. That's great. Boosts the immune system. And it avoids allergens. I'm not sure how it does that. The diet we're looking at is chicken and brown rice. Chicken's not exactly hypoallergenic, but whatever, we'll see. So that's one of the pages on their website. And, I think it was George that said, food could be good, but if they're giving you manipulative information and all, we really shouldn't stand for that. But, it's everywhere. I don't know how to avoid it. Here's another page on their website, all the things they leave out. And here we go. I mean, there's nothing unique here. We leave out GMOs, artificial colors, no soy, no corn, no wheat. So what does it say? We use the highest quality ingredients and leave out fillers. So there you go. Fillers obviously are those things above that I just mentioned that are in the picture. And we all know that soy, corn, and wheat is in no way a filler, but it works. It's good marketing, so we hear it. No GMOs, soy, corn, wheat, or animal byproducts. Oh, we don't want those byproducts, that organ meat and stuff. Lastly, all of our chicken, meat, and fish is hormone and antibiotic free. So we can see a big push on the ingredient focus here rather than nutrients. And of course, here's another picture which, just shows, there's your blueberries. Got to stick those blueberries in there, and salmon, and some, is that lettuce? I'm not really sure, but carrots, all good stuff. And so that's what the website is talking about. I could not find too much nutritional information, so I did call the company, and we'll go over that in a minute. Here's their ingredient panel, and just as you would expect, it's a very nice looking ingredient panel. Deboned chicken is the first ingredient. Where have we seen that? Just about let's see, Blue Buffalo, it was deboned. There's a few others that were deboned. So here you go, deboned chicken. So it's already a good food, right? The next ingredient is chicken meal. So again, I feel bad for those of you, all of us that talk all the time on this channel. But if you're new and you've been looking at ingredient panels, please go watch some of my other videos too. But the chicken meal, that is just a dried form of chicken, and it's actually the main protein source when we look at these two, because the ingredient panel goes by weight, not by volume. Manufacturers know this. It's their oldest trick in the book. And what they do is they use a little bit of chicken. It's mostly water weight. Choose right to the front of the ingredient panel. You're happy because you think you're getting real meat. You have no idea the quality of that meat, by the way. And then the next ingredient is chicken meal. Again, think of a brown powder. It's very light, but that's all the protein, okay? So that's really the main protein source in this diet. But they have to do the deboned chicken to make you think you're getting something better, so you'll spend the money. Again, I have no idea of the quality of those protein sources till we look at the nutrients, which we'll take a look at in a minute here. Everything else in here, beet pulp is the fiber source. There's flaxseed for omega-3s. There's dried egg product. That's great. I'm just looking at stuff that I know are good ingredients. All the organic stuff, and there's a ton of it in there, all the fruits and vegetables, all, okay, that's okay, whatever. So that's the ingredient panel. Let's see what else we got here. The ingredient panel. Okay, let's start getting into the nutrition, the nutritional statement, the AAFCO statement. Okay, that is a legal document on that bag, and it tells you that that food is efficient enough for whatever, for puppies, for adults. And what do we see? Here's the nutritional guarantee. Holistic health extension. Oh, I forgot to mention that it was holistic. Shame on me. Of course, we know holistic means absolutely nothing, but it's holistic. Holistic health extension, original chicken and brown rice recipe. There's recipe again. Everybody loves that word. Is formulated. So what does that mean? Formulated. They actually never did feeding trials. They just formulated the numbers and produced it that way. We're finding more and more foods just are not going to do feeding trials. I'm even surprised Purina and Hills, they're starting to not do feeding trials within families of diets, if they just make a flavor change, something like that. But I could see feeding trials going by the wayside because nobody cares. Nobody's doing them. They're expensive. Some people could say they're kind of limiting because they're only about 6 months long and not a whole lot of dogs, that kind of thing. But it's a shame that the standard of food has come down that way. Just formulate it and throw it out there, and your dog or my dog's the first one to actually eat the stuff. But that's what formulated means when you don't see an AAFCO feeding trial statement on there. So formulated to meet nutritional levels established by the AAFCO dog food nutrient profile. For what? For adults, for puppies, here we go, for all life stages, even including growth of large-sized dogs, 70 pounds or more as an adult. So this is an all life stage food. So the first thing, and look at how underneath, but it's vet formulated. Again, I don't want to sound like a doomsdayer. There's enough, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. I say that too often these days, or at least our country is. But this is really alarming to me for somebody that loves the industry and loves the veterinary profession. It's been my life for so long. But to watch all these foods that are coming out that are all life stages, why are they doing that? They're doing that because they know no one's looking at nutrients. Nutrition is not a conversation anymore. It's all ingredients. Now, the root word of nutrition is what? Nutrients. Yeah, well, not really, not anymore. Now it's just dazzle me with appealing ingredients and I don't need to know anything else. I mean, most of the websites I went to when I was trying to evaluate foods, I couldn't find even a guaranteed analysis, an AAFCO statement. At least these guys give me some information. Most of them just show you the pretty pictures. They don't bother with the other stuff because they know no one's looking. So as we move away from the study of nutrients being delivered, which is what nutrition is, and we move into this marketing game of just make the ingredient panel and my website appealing enough for Mrs. Jones to buy my food, it's the animals that are going to suffer here. It's the pet parents that are looking for a life extension, that are looking for their pets to live as long as possible with the healthiest diets. They're the ones that are going to miss out, because basically what pet food manufacturers are going to do is just make it a marketing game. And those excess nutrients that, especially the micronutrients, sodium, calcium, phosphorus, all that, those imbalances and excesses that really just exacerbate other conditions. If your pet is prone to urinary stones or kidney disease, whatever, it's just going to make that worse. I mean, this is great business in the future for Mars, the candy company that's buying up all these vet clinics across the country and actually I think across the world. Veterinarians are going to be dealing with plenty of age-related diseases based on the fact that nutrition for American pets, and I'm sure European pets, is moving away from controlling nutrients and formulating diets based on science, and as it moves into just make it look good even though it's unhealthy. It's just, I don't know. I don't, this is just crazy. But tell me I'm wrong when every diet I look at is saying for all life stages. That's something that was kind of just your cheap foods, in the past in the grocery store. Now it's the most expensive foods you can buy. So here's another brand that's saying all life stages, which what do we know by law? That means they can't be deficient in any life stage, which means what? They've got to be high enough in the nutrients for growing puppies. Well, growing puppies need high levels of everything. You name it, they need high levels. Not exorbitant levels, but there are limits, but they need very demanding levels for the growth. And I guess I have to go through this. Just imagine a 8-week-old Bernese Mountain Dog puppy and the nutrition that puppy needs, because within a year he's going to be what, almost 100 pounds, sometimes over 100 pounds. That's some pretty amazing nutrition. To feed that extreme nutrition, if you want to call it extreme, the high levels, to a 10, 11-year-old Bernese Mountain Dog, that's insane. There's no way you're going to compare them to have the same nutritional needs. And it's not just a matter of you feed the puppy more and you feed the old dog less. That is not optimal nutrition. But yet that's what we're seeing now. This is the most common uh, um, occurrence that we're seeing in all these new foods coming out. So let me open my black book. Let's go ahead and look at the actual nutrient levels of this health extension. And this is the chicken and rice formula. And I guess let me just real quick point out that this company also makes another brand called Ancestry. And Ancestry, I called them and asked, well, you have two different brands. What's the difference? And they said, well, the health extension uses real meat, and the Ancestry is meat meals. So it really just depends as a consumer what you'd rather have. They're both great, but one is a meal, one is fresh meat, which right there shows you protein's protein, based on the quality. But they're going to cover both bases with meat meal and with real meat. I mean, it's just silly. And I asked her, well, are the nutrients different in the Ancestry? Should I get a list of those? And she said, no, they're basically the same. So here's the nutrient levels in the health extension chicken and rice. I'll put it up here. But now I have to do this on an as-fed basis, because this is the other thing we're going to run into as I do more of these reviews. Food companies can't give me grams and milligrams per 100 kcals. Now that is the most accurate, most scientific way to measure a diet and the nutrition it's offering. But I'm running into more and more trouble where the food companies say, we don't have that information. I'm not even sure what it is you're talking about, which again should be a red flag. Don't feed that food, okay? But so I was able to get the percentage on an as-fed basis, so that's including moisture. But at least what I did, I thought, well, let me compare it to a Science Diet chicken formula and see how they do. Now, remember, we do know that the health extension is a all life stage food. So what do we know? It's puppy food. Has to be by law, otherwise we could sue them and all retire. So they're not going to be deficient in any nutrient that a growing puppy needs, and of course that is excessive for an adult dog versus especially an older dog. So the protein comes in at 24% on an as-fed basis. The calcium and phosphorus 1.3% and 0.99%, it's almost 1%. Sodium is 0.4%. Okay. I also was curious because they said that it helps the immune system. So I asked them, do you have the vitamin E level, the antioxidants for the immune system? And she did. It's in international units per kilogram of food. That's typical of most foods. They usually have that. And it's at 86 international units, okay, per kilogram of food. So we know it's excessive. Why? Because you can feed it to a growing puppy. How excessive is it? Well, let's look at Science Diet Adult, their chicken formula. It's at 22% protein, so a little lower in total protein, not that much really. How about calcium and phosphorus? 0.6 in calcium, 0.5 in phosphorus. Literally half. Literally half of the micronutrients of those two nutrients, which go back and watch my video on minerals, and you'll see how crucial controlling those micro minerals are. So literally we're looking at cutting that in half to go with Science Diet versus health extension. So if I, God forbid, have a dog or a cat that's prone to, again, urinary stones, kidney disease, hypertension, things like that, I sure would hope in the next X amount of years that I'm feeding the science diet at 0.6 and 0.5 than the puppy level at 1.3 and 0.99. So there's a drastic difference. Sodium level, 0.28%. So again, what's that? 30% less, something like that, maybe more than that. Yeah, I guess it would be more like in the 40%. I'm not real good with math here. But again, from 0.4 to 0.2, almost 0.3. That's significant. The vitamin E levels, if you watch the video where I talk about vitamin E, that I really want to go through and look at food companies and see the amount of vitamin E in their food. That's the active antioxidant that fights free radicals, and it really doesn't just preserve the food. It's not a food preservative, it's a body preservative to reduce the free radical damage that's being done at a cellular level just due to oxidation. We're taking in oxygen and food and producing energy that produces free radicals. So vitamin E is the active antioxidant to fight against that. Healthy extension was at 86 international units. The science diet, 482 international units per kilogram of food. So from almost 100 to almost 500 in the science diet. So, and again, in another video, I keep saying that, I'm sorry, but in another video I explained that Hills actually did a lot of research into antioxidants and blood values and showing free radical damage and alcohol levels, things like that. So, so a big difference if you look at the two diets here. And I was just curious because, again, when I tell people these are puppy foods when it says all life stage, I was curious how the science diet puppy matched up against the healthy health extension. So here you go. Here's the numbers. You'll see the puppy food is at 27.5%, so it's a little higher in protein than health advantage, or I'm sorry, health extension. The calcium phosphorus, 1.49. So the puppy food of science diet is almost the same as the calcium level in the health extension for all life stages. And you'll see that the phosphorus is 1.1 in science diet puppy, and which is pretty much what the 0.99 is in the health extension. So do you see when I say that all life stage foods really have to be high enough for growing puppies? I'm not just making that up. That is the law. Okay, they can't be deficient. And you'll see that the sodium level in the science diet is 0.5, which again, it's 0.4 sodium in health extension. Both of them are at puppy levels, okay? And interestingly enough, the antioxidant package is identical. It's 482 international units in the puppy as well as in the adult. So all life stage nutrition is not nutrition. It's laziness on the part of the food company. It is not optimal by any means, but it's cheaper because I can buy cheaper ingredients that are excessive in some of these minerals, especially phosphorus and calcium. It keeps my cost down and gets my protein level nice and high, and no one's looking. No one is looking. It drives me crazy. Oh, it just drives me crazy. So I looked at the cost, and I know Science Diet comes in, was it $2.57, I think, or $2.65, something like that, along with Pro Plan. It's in the $2.60, somewhere up there. And the health extension food that we just looked at was $2.23 a pound. So it's just a little less than Science Diet by maybe 20 or 30 cents a pound. I looked at Ancestry just to see just the cost, because I checked it on Chewy, and it was only $1.79 for Ancestry. I'm going to believe what the gal told me, that the nutrient levels are identical, so or basically the same is what she said. So if you want an all life stage food that basically you want to feed your adult dog puppy food, go for it. I see absolutely no reason why you would do that. And again, we're just trying to reduce the risk of disease. Those nutrient levels, those excessive levels, maybe for your dog is not going to cause a problem at all. But for this dog over here that is prone to kidney disease or prone to stones or whatever, those excesses could be deadly. And that's the whole thing you're trying to do with nutrition. You're spending your money hoping you're getting a food that doesn't just produce nice, shiny skin and coat and nice, normal stool, and the dog likes to eat it. You're also hoping that it's working on keeping them healthy, and that's the whole point. So, so health extension, not gonna really recommend it. I just don't see why you would go with that one when there's so many other better choices out there. So hopefully that was helpful, and you guys all take care. And here's the puzzle I just finished with all those cute dogs. That was actually kind of a fun puzzle. Now I'm actually working on a Noah's Ark puzzle, and this one's really a lot of fun too. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, so I'm keeping up trying to do some puzzles along with these videos. So you guys take care.